Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Tuesday, June 9th, 2020. We are again in the final hour of the trading day. I mention this each day, but I think it is worth repeating every day. In my opinion, the best time to make your buying and selling decisions is at the end of the day, in the last hour, and particularly in the last few minutes. I say this because during the day, the algorithms and the day traders, they are the ones in control of the price. They're moving the price around. At the end of the day, you have the large financial institutions come in. They're dealing with the most money. They have very smart people. They have the best technology, best information, and they start making their decisions at the end of the day, and they take the control of the price away from the day traders and the algorithms. So I consider it smart money, and I like to follow what their decisions are. In the long run, I think it really does pay off. So anyway, hope everyone is doing well. I appreciate you being here today. It's nice to see everyone as always. I'm just so grateful that we have a good group. We can come here and meet every day and discuss some trading ideas and so forth. And so I am very thankful that you are here today. Thank you so much for coming, and I hope that the time you spend here is helping you improve your trading and your investing. So, all right, well, it's kind of a tale of two markets today. The Dow is down 214 points, down 0.78%. The NASDAQ, however, is positive, up 52.5%, up just a little over 0.5%, and the S&P is down 17.2%, down about 0.5%. So NASDAQ is leading the charge today. IWM, which is the Russell 2000, is down 1.43. So that one looks like it is down the most. Excuse my voice today. You know, I went for a hike after the podcast yesterday, and I got caught right in the middle of a storm, and it was cold, and I was soaking wet, and I got home, and I didn't feel that great. I taught last night, and I was exhausted, and then I went to bed, and this morning I woke up excuse me, and I'm feeling a little under the weather. So anyway, hang through there with me today. I may not be as sharp, but I'm going to do my best for sure. All right. Dirk is here. Hey, Dirk, good to see you, my friend. Appreciate you being here. Hi, Miko. Good to see you. Good afternoon to you as well. Hi, Dan. Good to see you, buddy. Quad Racer is here. Good afternoon, Greg and all. Good afternoon, Quad. Steve Burns, hey buddy, good to see you, my friend. Always an honor and privilege to have you here, and I'm always excited, and I know everyone else is. Boy, I'm still not used to Steve not having his video newsletter. I'm like, okay, tonight is Thursday. Okay, you know, I always look for that newsletter. Now it doesn't happen, and I don't know. I really enjoyed it. So Glenn is here. Oh, Evan is here. Good afternoon, Evan. Nice to see you. Appreciate you coming. Hi, Glenn. Good to see you. Greg says, hi. Glad Netflix is finally breaking. Let me see. What is my issue with Netflix? Oh, nice. It's finally coming good. Added AMD with breakout above 54. Congratulations. Yeah, what a huge day on Netflix for you. Very, very nice, Glenn. Frank is here. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you being here. Hey, Bob. Good to see you. Hope you're having a nice day. Steve says it's weird not doing it. I'm sure you got in the habit of doing it 3 times a week for 2 years. Steve says it's harder to keep up with what day it is. That's my point. I don't know what day it is without the newsletter. Man, excuse me. Apologize about my voice today. All right, what am I doing? Okay, so Dan says, Greg, I know this really smart guy that developed something that may help a cold. It's called Zycam. Yes, I know I need to use it. I have some up in my cupboard, but it's like 4 years old. I guess it's still okay. But yeah, I should be taking that. I had some zinc lozenges also. Good one, Dan. Scatty says, hi, Greg and all. Hi, Scatty. Good to see you, my friend. Okay, so listen, this is what we're going to do today. First of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them going forward, either to the upside or the downside. Some of you have been kind enough to share your trades with me. We have a bunch of them. We're going to go through those. We're going to see how those are doing. Some of them are doing very well. Hey, Kamal, good to see you, buddy. After that, we're going to spend a few minutes on trader psychology, trader's philosophy. It's my favorite part of the podcast. I think it's the most helpful part of the podcast. For me anyway, because when I'm speaking, I'm not just speaking to you, I'm speaking to myself. But all of us should remember the psychological portion of trading is really the most important. That's going to be the difference between whether you're a winning trader or a losing trader. Really, it is. Then after that, we are going to go down through my watch list. We're going to go down through each stock one by one. We're going to take a look and look for 3 requirements. Requirement number 1, confluence or combination of indicators. I look at each indicator as a group of buyers, and the more buyers, the better chance you have a profitable trade. So I like to look for a combination of those indicators lining up. Step 2, want to make sure I have a good risk to reward ratio on any one trade based upon realistic resistance above me and valid support below me. And then number 3, always want to make sure you keep in mind and take a look at your, oh, right on cue, there's my yard guy. Right when we start. Isn't that crazy? But you want to make sure that you take a look at what you have as far as your positions. Make sure they're not too correlated in any one industry. It is really a good idea to have some diversification among the type of securities that you own. And even outside of securities like oil or bonds or gold, silver, dollar, right, as well as stocks. So I'm going to go through, look for those 3 requirements. If I see something good at the end of the day, I will go ahead and buy it. Then after the market closes, if anybody has any questions, please let me know. Happy to answer them. Happy to clarify anything I discussed today. If you have any stock symbols you'd like me to look at, please let me know. If there's any stock symbols you'd like me to look at before the market closes, please let me know. I'm happy to do that. Please put a star by it so I know that that it's time sensitive, and I'll do my very best to get to it. And then also after the market closes, if you have any updates for me as far as your positions, please, if you could do it at the end of the day after the market closes. That'll give me more time to teach and more time to think right before the market closes. And then after the market closes, we can update and make sure we've got them all correct. Okay. All right. So that's the plan. If you could just please hang tight. I'm going to run that U.S. legal disclaimer and I will be back. Thanks. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. Okay, David is here. Good to see you. Steve Burns says, check out Jets and VRM. All right. I think Jets is that ETF that has the major airlines in it. Yeah, down 7% today. Been volatile the last couple days for sure. Interesting. A little too high for me, but catching support at the 10-day. I mean the 100-day, excuse me. VRM. You know, let's see. VRM. I don't have that one, Steve. VRM pulls up a 4-digit ticker symbol. Maybe switch those around. VRM maybe? Nope. VMR? Nope. Don't have that one, Steve. Glenn says, thoughts on Dexcom? Well, there's, the way I trade, I don't see anything here. I mean, we had this high over here. This is a fractal where you have a high with two lower highs to the left, two lower highs to the right. We did go above that, which is good. But for me, I mean, and it broke above and is actually below. I don't know how Dexcom backtest with like a 520 cross. Maybe somebody could check that out, but let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly's up with the second ATR, a little high for me on the weekly, but I don't see anything here that I would take based upon how I trade. Doesn't mean it can't go up though, certainly. Quad says, Jets rejected the 100-day. Does it backtest well on any of our moving average signal? I am pretty sure Jets is not on. Well, let me take a look without assuming. But I don't think so. Yeah, that one's not available for me to backtest. Frank says, oh, we have a poem from Frank. Great. Nice, Frank. Preparation, process, routine is an everyday trader's scene. A well-oiled machine keeps a trader in the green and provides for those times when things might get lean. Ooh, I like it. Preparation, process, routine is an everyday trader's scene. A well-oiled machine keeps a trader in the green and provides for those times when things might get lean. Excellent, Frank. We didn't have your poem yesterday. I felt like the whole day was off. Thanks for coming, Frank. Thank you for that as always. Quad says VRM shows up on mine with no data. Oh, it's first day trading IPO. Oh, that's why. Yep. Marco, hey buddy, good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Hope you're having a good evening. Steve says VRM is vroom up 100% today. Wow. Really? Fantastic. Fan-dealy-tastic. Okay. Take a look at something here. All right. Sorry, I have to manage something in this other account. Okay, that's done. Steve says, Jets doesn't backtest well on Transpider. It has negative lifetime return. Yep. All right, well, let's get to it then. I didn't have a whole lot of positions today. Karen, Kamal, and Frank, we all bought JO, which is coffee ETF. I bought it here on the 1st of June. I bought it. We had a bullish engulfing candle. We had a V1. We went under 30, over 30, bought it at 3106. Hasn't done a whole lot. I hit one profit target here. I hit one profit target here. Now it's kind of down. I was speaking with Kamal earlier, and my initial stop loss was here with halfway this washout bar. But because it's not doing much, I think I'm going to move my stop up to the halfway of this washout bar, this higher low V2 right here. So I will have to keep an eye on that right today. Hasn't been doing much. Don't want to get out of it with the loss. But it is up so far, so that's good. SPY. All right. Well, the SPY has had a pretty good run lately. Let me quickly, in case we have some new viewers, let me go over this. So I do buy the SPY every day at the close of the market. I hold it overnight and I sell it first thing the next morning. I do this based upon a back test from Liz Ann Saunders at Bespoke Invest. Since 1993, they did back tests. They tested two approaches. The first approach was buying SPY at the open, holding it through the day, selling it at the close. If you use this approach every day since 1993, you'd have returned a negative 13.9% return. However, do the opposite, which is what I do, buy the SPY at the close, hold it overnight, take the overnight risk, sell it first thing the next morning. It returns a positive 634% return. So big difference between when you buy it and when you sell it. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. That's true. This may never work again in the history of the world, but since 1993, it's done pretty well and has good results. So if I'm going to allocate money towards something, I'm going to allocate it towards something that has good results. Over time, all it's done is go up and up and up, but there are significant drawdowns along the way. 2019 was a fantastic year. The beginning of this year was horrible using this approach, but had a massive comeback in the last month and a half. So still downs on the year slightly, but overall, big picture, I'm definitely up using this. So that being said, I did buy it yesterday right at the top, 323.24, and I got out this morning at 320.30. So that was a pretty big, that was a bit of a whooping there, right? That was almost 3 points overnight, but we've had some really good moves in here. So it's just, this is something that I just, basically I buy and hold the SPY, or I buy and hold the SPY always. It's just that I hold it overnight and not during the day. So it's just a little different way around it. So I will be buying this again at the end of the day. TLT. All right. So Karen, Gary, David, Frank, Quad, and myself did buy bonds back here on the 5th of June. Bought them at 156.08. We had an under 30, over 30. We rejected the 6th ATR channel, which is, this tends to hold quite a lot of the time. Bought it here at 156.08. Yesterday it was up slightly, but no profit targets. Today, big gap up. I hit 3 profit targets, and actually I hit 2 of the profit targets right here because it gapped over my profit targets. So I hit 2 profit targets right here. I scratched out 1 more profit target up there. So up nicely, and glad I got some profit right there at the very top. Let's see, has it moved more than 1 ATR? Yeah, as soon as it moves more than 1 ATR for my entry, then I will start with the trailing stop. And this orange line was the trailing stop mark, and you can see it went above it. So tomorrow, if it closed below, I would get out of all of it. But anyway, so far, pretty good. Let me take a little look over here. Okay, Apple. I did take a day trade on Apple to the short side. First of all, look at this. This is unbelievable. I mean, this is unbelievable. It opened up down, and I think at the high it was up 13 points. It's up 3.33%. Holy smokes. But I was fortunate enough to have a good trade here on Apple. Let me show you where. All right. Let me get the big picture here for you. Gary and I were speaking last night. Gary's one of my students, and we were talking about double tops, bearish divergences, all that kind of stuff. Well, look, here's the MACD. This shows momentum, right? Then we had negative momentum, then we had positive momentum again. But you see how the price keeps going up and up and up and up and up. But the momentum of the MACD bar is pretty high here, lower here, non-existent here, non-existent here, even lower here. Okay, so that's called a double top with a bearish divergence. Even though it's going higher, it is losing momentum. So I was looking for a short. That's generally a bearish scenario. I considered taking this one, but I did not. I guess possibly could have been some profit, but I decided to wait, and I took this one here. Now keep in mind, we have this huge bearish divergence where the price is going up higher and the momentum is going lower. That's what keyed me into the short side. This is the bar here. So we had a false breakout to the upside here. We went up, didn't like it, came back down. At the same time, we created a V1 to the downside. So you hear me talk a lot about, looking for those setups where you have a V1, but you also have a false breakout to the downside if you're going long. Well, this is a V1 to the downside with a false breakout to the upside. That's why I took the trade right here at 344.95. It immediately went right up against me. I was like, dang it. But then it came back down. Then I knew I was in pretty good shape. Went up again, and then it didn't close halfway the washout bar, and then it rolled over and had a big down bar here. Now this bar, we were up in the 70 RSI range. We came down, we went under the 50 RSI, closed above. So that was my exit to get out of the short. So I shorted here at 344.95. I got out at 343.97. So about $1. So pretty good in 5, 10, 15, and 20 minutes. Then it kept going lower, and I was like, shoot, I guess I got out too early. But, you have to take your signals when you take them. And under 50, over 50, that was my signal. All right. Let's take a look now at everyone else's trades. All right. Evan took this V2 yesterday here at 70.60, had a V2, bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, bar 2 washes out, bar 1 closes above, got in at 70.60, moved up nicely, up 1.84%. Also have the 520 cross today. I don't know how that back tests, but listen, it's always better to have a crossover than not, right? But that's up nicely today. Congratulations, Evan. Roku, Kamal, I was just telling you about Apple with the false breakout to the upside and the V1 to the downside. Well, this is exactly opposite. This is a false breakout to the downside with the V1 to the upside. They work pretty well, I'm telling you. So Kamal bought this here at 104.09, had a huge day up yesterday, was down earlier, held the halfway mark, rallied back up slightly today, up about 0.5%. So very nice, Kamal. Kamal with the other good trade. I'll tell you what, Kamal is doing so well. You see his trades here. These are amazing. So Kamal took this. Well, here we go again. It's a false breakout from the previous low with a combination of a V2. See, here's the low. We wash it out, go back up, but we don't trigger the V1. But yesterday we triggered the V2. He got in at 33.45, up. It's at 35.41, up 5%. Way to go, Kamal. If I had some kind of award, the Gossett Trading Award, this month and last month, it would definitely go to Kamal. Proud of you, my friend. CRM, Kamal and David, same approach, false breakout to the downside on CRM with the V1 to the upside. They bought it 173. It was up nicely yesterday. Down a little bit today, about 0.75%, but still up nicely for Kamal and David. Alibaba. Oh, this is Frank. That's right. All right. So a bunch of us took this trade. If you remember, we were above the value zone. We came into the value zone. We moved sideways. That's what you want. And then we had a bullish engulfing bar. We had a V1 and a crossover. We got in here at 206.69, rode it up here. I think I got out right here. I can't remember. I think a bunch of us got out right here. Moved up, moved down, up again today. So very nice, Frank. Frank is up 6.29%. So fantastic. Gib, Kamal, and Frank also bought this. This is a beautiful example of a higher low V1. We're below the 1 ATR channel. We rally into the value zone. We have a little bit of a pullback. Here we have a V1 bullish engulfing bar. Looks like 520 crossover. Frank and Kamal bought it at 62.18. Look at this thing. It just went like a rocket ship. Down a little bit today, but you know, things can't go up forever. But so far, up 10% for Frank and Dave. Beautiful. XLU, this was a nice trade by MA. I haven't seen MA for a while, so I'm going to take this off the board. But again, here we have a false breakout to the downside of this previous range. We have a V1 bullish engulfing bar. Bought it here at 55.57, and look at this beautiful trade. Boom, boom, boom. I don't think MA is in here, so I'm going to take that one off just to free up some space. But anyway, very nice, MA. Hope she still has it. Oil. Oil was a wonderful trade for a bunch of us. The signal was here. We were below the 1 ATR channel. We came into the value zone. We had a false breakout to the downside, reversal back up with the V2, 21.49, and this thing just took off. I got in here. I scaled out. I ran out of shares right about here, and I was done with the trade. Then it moved down, and it just has made another leg up, down a little bit today. But Karen and MA, don't know if Karen and MA are still in this. Hope so. But fantastic trade. I mean, this trade is 32.6%. HLG, Quad and Pinsky and Company took this with the V2 right here. Bar 1, bar 2, bar 3. Bar 2 washes out bar 1. Bar 3 closes above bar 1's close. 40.51. Initially went up, then a little sideways. Today it was up much higher, but it's reversed back down, but still in the money there. So good job on that. Walmart, Kamal did buy Walmart back on the 5th. He bought it here at 120.25. I think he bought it because it had a false breakout way back from this range over here. So 120.25. It's in the money, about 77 cents. Was up yesterday. It was up higher earlier, down today. I think Kamal's plan on this, if it doesn't trigger a V2 today, he's going to get out and just lock in a little profit. UNG, Gary. All right, so Gary bought UNG back here with the V1 false breakout of the downside. This one didn't work. I got in this trade too. I had to get out here for a loss. Then it moved up and right back down. Looks like it definitely is going to lose the halfway of that washout bar there. And then Pinsky and Company, I liked this setup yesterday. I really did. Higher low V1, bought it at 33, was up nice earlier, now down a little bit. If I was in this trade, I would get out with a close below halfway of the washout bar. And then lastly, Glenn. Glenn has had this trade for a while in Netflix. He bought it with the bounce of the 50-day moving average, 403, moved up nicely. Then we had a few days down, recovered, and today it's had a nice upward move. So very nice, everyone. Congratulations. Good trading. And there's the lawnmower. Sorry. Steve says, one of the neat things about your book is the use of stock chart sites. Super clean charts and indicators, pre-loaded. Not to mention free and has great data. Frank says, I'm also in DKNG. At 37.64. All right. Oh, very nice. All right. If you guys can, when you're telling me, that you're in something new, please wait till the end. Just, I want to get these all updated, but please wait till the end if you can. After the market closes, I should say. And snap. $187. 1875. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, sorry, it just takes time to put these here and it kind of takes away. So if you can, please wait till the end, but we'll get this while we're here. Steve says, VIX 3 days of higher highs and higher lows. That has been a rare pattern for a few months. Yes. Higher highs and higher lows. It was interesting the VIX was up yesterday when the market was also up. Hey, Gary, good to see you. Good lesson last night. Glenn says, your thoughts on AMD. I mean, look, this is a perfect example of sideways motion leading to breakout either to the upside or the downside. This time it was certainly up. Fantastic. But me personally, I can't chase this. This is over the 1 ATR channel. It's too big of a bar. I don't think it would give me a good risk to reward ratio, but it's a good example of sideways motion that leads to an explosion either up or down. Okay. Kamal, we talked about this earlier, Kamal. Here's IBB. We did have a false breakout from this low and this low. So it went down, tested it, came back up. The thing I like best about this one is not so much the daily, but the weekly. See how it's on the weekly. It also has support at the 200-day. And then on the daily, I mean, this is good that it had a false breakout, but it didn't have a V1 or anything else like that. But, you know, it did have a false breakout. And then on the weekly, it's holding support of the 200. Yeah, it did have a false breakout on UNG as well. Mohammed is here. Hey, Mohammed, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well, sir. Thank you for coming. Steve says, that is what I love about stock charts as well. Very clean and clear charts. 100%. Mine are not so clean. Mine are not so clean, right? Okay. So, listen, before we get to looking at the charts and looking for possible entry at the end of the day here, I do like to spend time, you know that, talking about trader psychology. It's very important. It's a skill that you have to learn. And if you want to be a profitable trader, you're going to have to get it under control. Make a plan, stick with the plan. Some people are great at making plans, but not sticking with the plans and trading. And you really need both. But as you know, I go through Twitter, I go through Facebook each day. I find something that is helpful for me and I think would be helpful for you. And so let's take a look. This is from Steve Burns. Yay, this is our buddy Steve Burns here in the chat with us. So this is a little bit of a long one, but listen, there's disciplined traders and there's emotional traders. Gary and I were talking about this last night in our lesson. Sorry about the mower. Man, I'll tell you what, he comes every time. And I can harp on him because he's my best friend out there doing it. So, but listen, disciplined traders compared to emotional traders. Disciplined traders trade a defined trading plan. Emotional traders trade based on emotions. Let's try not to trade on emotions. I know it's hard, but disciplined traders, and this could also say profitable traders, trade a defined risk. They manage risk. Disciplined traders do. Emotional traders, the more confident they are, the bigger they trade. How about that, right? You shouldn't adjust your position size based upon how confident you are. You know, it should be a set amount that makes sense statistically. Exit based on a predetermined stop. Exit based due to fear. Enter based upon a setup. Enter based on greed for the emotional trader. Exit a trade when wrong. Hold a losing trade to try to prove they are right. None of you have ever done this, I'm sure, right? Yeah, I think we've all done this. It's weird. You know, it's just weird how our human emotion and ego gets in the way. Just exit the trade when you're wrong and don't hold on to it to try to prove anything. Trade based on price action. Trade based on their opinions. Man, if I traded only on my opinions, I would be dead wrong. Trade based on price action, that's the way to go. You know, Stanley Druckenmiller, one of the most famous traders, market wizards, he's made 3% since the bottom, where the markets rallied huge. Why? Because he he was not trading based upon opinion. He thought the market was go down. This is one of the best of them all, right? So trade the price action, not what you think. Do the homework. Disciplined traders do the homework. Emotional traders believe they are special. Disciplined traders only want to make money. Emotional traders want to prove something to someone. Disciplined traders lose and move on to the next trade. Emotional traders blame someone after losing a trade. Ever run into these people? You know them, right? It's only your fault. That's it. And lastly, disciplined traders trade with focus and calm. Emotional traders trade with stress and strong emotions. So I know there was a lot there, but let's try to all be disciplined traders and not be emotional traders. It'll make a big difference in your P&L. All right. And then lastly, I wanted to show you this. I saw this on Twitter. I'm sure some of you are aware of this, but this is the put-call ratio. It shows when you have extremes in people buying puts or buying calls. When the market goes down, you can see up here, see how high it was? This means a lot of people were buying puts. And as it has it, that was the top of the market because they're inverse of each other. Here's the market down here, right? As the market goes down, the put-call ratio goes up. As the market goes up, the put-call ratio goes down. The thing is when these are at very high extreme levels, even though a lot of people are buying puts, this is actually a bullish signal. However, now look where we are. The put-call ratio is very low, meaning hardly anybody has puts, everybody has calls. Well, this is, if high puts is bullish, high calls is bearish. And if you've been trading for a while, I'm sure you've seen this as an indicator to look at, but we have extreme optimism. Nobody has puts, and that is generally a bearish indicator. So please keep that in mind. Frank says that the market feels like a real-life version of Monopoly, play money and all. I agree, Frank. Gary and I were having this conversation last night. It doesn't seem real at all. To me, it seems fake, you know? It feels very controlled, like, what's the word? Artificial. Kamal says CLX has a 520 crossover. Anybody backtest that? Let's take a look. Could Clorox be making its return? You know, it was one of the hot stocks, and now it's oh yeah, all right, it is on here. 520 EMA day of cross. It backtests 96.9% return with buy and hold 553. Drawdowns 30%, 30.1, and the drawdown on buy and hold is 45. So it has less drawdown, but and it only has about 19% of the return. So all in all, not that great of a backtest. Steve says equity put call ratio lowest in at least 5 years. Yep, there you go. Oh, space has a crossover, does it? Ah, interesting. I might be interested in that one, Steve. Do we have the 5 cross? Not right now, at least not on mine. We have 1658 compared to 1659. You see, we had a nice day up yesterday, but see how we've come down? We've held the halfway in those moving averages. That's somewhat of a good sign, actually. So let me quickly do a little math here. All right. All right. Hey, listen, give me about 30 seconds. I've got to, my lawn guy, I have to give him something. Otherwise, I know he's going to forget. I apologize. Give me about 20, 30 seconds, okay? All right. All right. So we're back to even. Now listen, if the 5 and the 20 have the same number, that is valid for a cross. I like it. It's in the value zone. I like that we had a higher low go on here with the V1. So let's look at the weekly. Sideways motion on the weekly. But yeah, that one's not too shabby. Thank you, Steve. I'm definitely going to watch that one. Take a look here. Be interesting to see if we're going to have a melt up today or a melt down. Okay. Evan says, I bought space for long-term investment when it dropped to 10. Oh, very nice. And now it's at 16.79. Beautiful. Frank says, lots of calling on Chewy. Lots of call buying on Chewy. Very, very strong. Up 6.75%. It's a little high for me. Oh, we have earnings? Was that this morning or is it afternoon? All right. Going to run down through the list pretty quickly, see if we have anything. Of course, I had that short on Apple. This is just a monster day. I mean, it's unbelievable. Nothing I can do here. 77 RSI. I'm just going to have to be patient, wait for a pullback. Adobe, I don't see anything here. It looks like it could have rejected the 70 RSI. Amazon had a monster day, up 95.8%. Boy, I'm glad I got out of my short when I was supposed to on this one, huh? But again, you know, this is pure momentum up here. I need a pullback before I can get interested. Boeing down 5.5%. This was a really good run for me on the weekly. I bought Boeing here, got out there. It was over a 50% return. Got out a little early. Yesterday it was up another 12%, but a little bit back today. But still, you know, when you have a good trade, don't worry about if it goes a little higher after you buy it. Frank has this trade doing nicely on Alibaba. Berkshire Hathaway down 2% today, down 4.38%. I would wait for a pullback into the value zone. Beyond Meat down a bit today. Had that big day up yesterday, so nothing there. Caterpillar, don't see anything on Caterpillar. Carnival Cruise Line down 6.82%, but recovered quite a bit from, you know, how far it was below. Dow Jones still down today. We're up near that 6 ATR channel. Man, that's rarefied air up there. I just have to sit on my hands and wait for a pullback. Walt Disney rejected the 200-day moving average above. It is down 2.32% today. Etsy tried to have a V2. It did trigger a V2 earlier in the day, but now it's untriggered. Facebook is up nicely today, up 3.35%. So the big FANG stocks are really the winners today, for sure. Gold also up today. I'm looking for that 520 crossover, so just have to be patient and wait for that to happen. The Goog broke out here. It's a 66.86 RSI. I don't know if it rejected the 70 or not. Let's take a look with my handy dandy little tool. 68.18 is as high as it got today, so nothing there. Goldman Sachs is down today. Just need a pullback. Home Depot. I mean, look at this move. You know, Frank, we were just talking about like monopoly money. Look at this move. It doesn't have any price discovery at all. To really, it's just up. You know, every single pullback immediately bought. But, you know, of course, we know these things don't go on forever. But, I mean, this has just been a rocket ship with absolutely no pullback. It's very strange. Here's IBB. In the value zone, did trigger a V2 yesterday, but not a very good one. Didn't really wash out much and only had 1 day sideways. I don't see anything here. Intel, false breakout. up here. Wait for it to come back into the value zone. Russell 2000 off of its lows, certainly off of its lows today, but again, just too high for me to buy. I just have to sit and wait. If it keeps going, it just keeps going. Ooh, there's a V1 to the downside on Johnson & Johnson. Look at that. Whew. A lot of sideways motion. I would expect some kind of breakout from this, either to the upside or the downside. CarMax, it's just like Home Depot. This thing has gone nuts. It has gone nuts. Coca-Cola did reject the 100-day, just tagged it, came back down. I'd look for a pullback into the value zone. Lockheed Martin is down today, but really has done well since that nice big move over the 200. Boy, the time to about that would have been a test of the halfway of the washout bar. MasterCard's up a little bit today, not too much, but waiting for a pullback, maybe a pullback to the 200. Mickey D's is down today, holding halfway of the big washout bar. Merck was above the 200. It might close below. I don't see anything there. Microsoft up strong today, up $1.59, up 0.84%. But again, I'd have to wait for a pullback. Netflix, Glenn's doing very well. Congratulations, Glenn. We might get a 520 crossover tomorrow on Netflix. Nike kind of stalled out up here in this range. Philip Morris down pretty substantially today. Poked its head above the 200 and failed. PayPal. Don't see anything here. Need to pull back into the value zone. Q's very, very strong. Third ATR channel. We're above the 70 RSI, so it is parabolic. Silver, looking for a pullback into the value zone, sideways movement, or a 520 cross under and back over, or maybe a test of the 200 also. S&P 500, I had the overnight loss there. That was a pretty big one, but I will be buying that again today at the close. Teladoc, not doing too much here. We closed below the 1 ATR channel. We're in the value zone. Like to see it go up a couple days, then have a pullback and grab a higher low entry. Bonds, Karen, Gary, David, Frank, and myself and Quad have this. We bought this with the under 30, over 30, bounce off the third ATR channel. It's worked out pretty well. Hit 3 profit targets here today. And now I am in trailing stop mode because we want more than 1 ATR. Tesla, just too high. Twitter, just too high. UAL, getting denied there with that 100. Went below, tested it, now it's below. Natural gas is down but off of its lows. United Healthcare Group, looking for a pullback to value. Oil, we talked about oil, Karen and Kamal and MA and myself. We had just a beautiful trade on this. And Karen is still in, and MA. The dollar, well, the dollar keeps falling. It keeps falling, doesn't it? Unbelievable. We're at 24.90. And we're at the 6th ATR channel. So this is quite a move. If we look here on the weekly, I did kind of like the dollar right about here because on the weekly, we were holding halfway of this washout bar and the 100-day moving average, but now it's lost it. VIX up strongly today. That's 2 days in a row we've been up. Verizon hanging above the 200. Walgreens rejected the third ATR channel in the 100. Walmart, oh good, Walmart's coming back a little for Kamal. So don't know if it's going to make that V2 or not. Energy, big strong, down a bit today. Financials, Could not hold above the 200. Now it's below. Real estate. I shorted real estate here. Next day it went down. I took some profits and boom, I had to get out because it gapped right up over the 200 and that was my stop. Utilities, kind of playing around the 200 here. Healthcare and Zoom. I don't really see anything. Let's take a look back over at Spice Space. Right now we're at 1655 compared to 1658. Let me take a look here. So current symbols, JO, I'm going to hold if it holds halfway of that wash of the V washout bar, the V, this higher low washout bar here. It looks like it's holding right now. Looks like the SPY is selling off in the afternoon. I will be buying this at the end of the day. TLT, we talked about that. That's good so far. And then Apple, looks like Apple has come off a little bit. Yeah, hit that 1 ATR channel and that was it. Tried it again, that was it. Boy, I have a friend that has sold so many puts or calls on Apple, meaning bearish on Apple. He doesn't want it to go up, and this is a massive day. Oh man, feel bad for him. Okay, so to me, on mine here, it's possible we could have the crossover on Spice. I know Kamal was looking at BIIB. I do like the false breakout to the downside. I do like the 100 or the 200-day holding. I don't know if it's enough for me to take though. Steve says SPCE 520 crossover backtest beats buy and hold 92% return versus 42 buy and hold. Yep. Gary says Kramer had a whole segment last night on the FANGs making this bull market recovery and driving the NASDAQ to new highs. Yeah, well, those are the stocks that are driving this. Well, I guess the airlines and have been in there as well, but big picture, it's, you know, been the handful of stocks. Zach, hello, Greg and friends. Hey, buddy, good to see you, Zach. Hope you're having a good day. Kamal says PTON has a V2, probably too high. Yeah, it is a bit too high for me. I mean, 1 ATR is about my absolute maximum that I'll take it, but we didn't have any sideways motion at all. It just down, down, bounce. It's much better. I mean, well, look, you know, I just said that, but here we have down, down, and this one held, but this is more of an anomaly. Usually it's those side, you know, you come down, you go sideways, you get that V1, V2. Those are the ones that have the staying power. But that's just me, Kamal. That's just mine. And we're right up here near the third ATR channel on the weekly, a little bit too extended. Frank says, it's hard to trade value when the market doesn't value. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, I've had some good moves here on oil and Boeing and all that kind of stuff, but right now it just doesn't fit my criteria. It doesn't fit my filters. Doesn't mean it can't go up, but you know, I try to be a good boy, set a good example, and don't chase things when they run away. Could go up, and if they do, I guess I'll just have to be happy with my overnight SPY trade for a while. You know, but they'll come back. They always do. They always do. That whole put call thing is a little concerning. And we do have the Fed meeting tomorrow, or Jay Powell speaks tomorrow. That certainly could change some things around as well. Right now the 520 cross does not look like it's working. All right, we have about 4 minutes. Okay. So it's close, 1656 to 1558. Let me check out coffee, see if that's holding. It is. TLT's fine. Look at this move on Apple. Unbelievable. Netflix looks like it's closing at its high, Glenn. That's good, right? Hey, Walmart just went positive, Kamal. Oh, you might get that V2. Looks like it's closing on its high for Alibaba. That's great for Frank. Roku's trying to make it 2 up days in a row. ATVI doing well for Evan. Frank says election year pressure should make Fed generous. Yeah, you would think so, but I mean, I think it's an understatement, right, to say that they haven't been generous already. Well, who knows? That's above my pay grade for sure. You know, my thought is with the markets being at some of the markets being at all-time high, it seems almost strange, right, to be even more generous on the easing. Who knows? Who knows? 1658 to 1655. All right. So the Dow's down 269 points, so it's a little bit more to the downside. Nasdaq's up 34, S&P's down 22. So this is lower than what we looked at earlier for sure. $16.55 to $16.58 on Virgin Galactic. I guess I better put this in there in case. Oh man. My platform is frozen. Okay, it still did my after hours trade. That's good because it was in. Oh, now I can change it around. Now I can. I couldn't do it. Okay. All right. Well, listen, not too bad of a day. Down on JO today, down on SPY. Had a nice day on TLT, and then had the nice short on Apple. But it looks like some of you had a really great day, which is fantastic. Evan says, I got my first haircut since February today, by the way. Nice. Looking all clean cut now. Were you looking pretty shaggy, Evan? You know, I had people talk to me about have you got a haircut? I'm like, I shaved my head. They're like, oh, yeah. Guess you don't have to do that. So listen, if you have any other questions for me, if you need clarification on anything, if you want me to update any of your positions, let's make sure if you got out of something, we take it off. If you have added something, let's make sure we have it in correctly. But before we do, just real quick, I just want to do my daily plug. I hope it's okay. I try to teach for about an hour and 20 minutes and have a 2-minute plug. So I hope that's okay with you. But I do teach private one-on-one lessons. I have a course. It's 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. It's a total of 15 hours. I've been trading for 24 years. I have studied with some really great traders and authors out there that I'm sure you're aware of, like Stephen Burns and Dr. Alexander Elder and Kerry Lavorne and Larry Williams. I studied with all four of these gentlemen one-on-one, and what I teach in my course is a compilation of everything I've learned from each one of those gentlemen, plus everything all my experiences and what I've learned over the years in trading. So it's a really good course. It's long form, like I say, it's one-on-one. I think it's the best way to learn. If you're interested, please reach out to me. You can send me an email. The email's in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter, and if you do, then we'll set up a Skype call. And I do want to reiterate, the Skype call is totally free. There's no sales pressure whatsoever. Just make sure that, it's a good combination of student and teacher as far as and it's a good time for you to ask me questions, ask me about me or the course, and then it's a good time for me to ask you about you and your trading journey and your challenges and what your goals are and so forth. So it is $1,000. I try to make it affordable. I mean, I know $1,000, to some people sounds like a lot of money, but I really think it's worth every single penny. So if you've been thinking about it, please reach out to me. Send me an email, send me a message on Twitter, and we will get the Skype call lined up. Right? It'll be nice to be able to talk to you face to face. And then if you like today's podcast, if you found it valuable, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. It would really help the channel. But only if you find it helpful. If you do, please do it. If you don't, then don't do anything. Or if you have to, hit the thumbs down button, whatever you have to do, right? But if you could, if you did enjoy it, I'd appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up. All right. Kamal says no trades today. Okay. Evan says, yes, I was looking terrible. Are there any changes, updates to anybody having any trades? Currently, I have Evan doing very, very well with ATVI. Congratulations, Evan. Roku was up, so I imagine Kamal stayed in there. Kamal had a great trade here on TWOU, up 4.3%, a little off of its high, but very nice, Kamal. CRM, I have Kamal and David. That looks like it's holding. Alibaba, I have Frank. Kamal says UNG, lost the false breakout to the downside. Okay. Kamal, I have Kamal and Frank in GIB still. Karen and MA in USO. Going once, going twice. No changes. Quad and Pinsky. This is a bummer here. This started out so nice for Quad and Pinsky on HLG, but looks like close to a bearish engulfing candle and a V1 to the downside. Kamal, did you stay in Walmart? Was up, so that's good. I don't think it formed a V2, but it still is profitable. Gary, still in UNG. KR is Pinsky and Company, down slightly. Big strong day for Glenn on Netflix. DKNG for Frank, very nice. Did I run out of room? Oh no, here we go. Okay. Okay, we talked about Netflix. We talked about DNG for Frank. We talked about Snap for Frank. Very good. Did I get that right? Did I get that at 1875? That's great. Glenn says, I'm an AMD. Okay. $54. Wow. What a day. 54.14. Yeah, buying this down here a little bit, giving a better risk to reward ratio, that's great. Of course, I'd stay in it, but chasing it up here, I definitely would not. And Kamal's still in Walmart. Okay. All right. Oh, let's take a look and see where I bought SPY. 320.79. Okay, that's for tomorrow's overnight SPY trade. So not a lot of positions, didn't get space, maybe tomorrow. So I've got coffee, I've got SPY, and I've got bonds. Okay. So does anybody have any questions or need any clarification on anything? Have any jokes? Let me know. Glenn says, Greg, we need to get the Robinhood account holders on here. They will learn a lot the hard way otherwise. Boy, I totally agree, Glenn. You know, I've seen those stories. Well, I kind of talked about it earlier about, you know, how the mom and pop retail traders are the ones that are really doing well now, and the you know, hedge fund managers and the large investors are not doing well. I think because they have the sense to know this is kind of a runaway market and somewhat artificial. And people that are trading on Robinhood really don't know. They just think it's going up and it's great. And it has been great. It has worked for them, right? But I mean, for people that have been around a while, you know, these generally are not the places to go chasing prices. So I have no doubt at all, Glenn, that you're right. We just don't know when it's going to happen. But, you know, we do know that the market always comes down much harder and stronger than it goes up, right? Up by the stairs, down by the elevator kind of a situation. But yeah, you're 100% right. Really great trades lately, Glenn, by the way. Here's the title of the story. Robinhood traders cash in on the comeback billionaire investors missed. Yeah. But I'll tell you, if I had to bet with the billionaire investors or with Robinhood traders, in the long run, I think the billionaire investors are gonna come out ahead. All right. Frank says it might be fun to do a real-time trade sometime with the group. You know, I have thought about that, Frank. I'd even put some thought into doing it like for a couple hours during the day. But the thing is, on YouTube, they say it's a 7-second delay, and from what I understand, from what feedback that you've given me, or not you specifically, but from what the group's given me, there's like a 28 or 30-second delay from when I speak to when you hear me. I think some of you would mention that. So, but I do try to, I do these day trades here, and usually I like to have them closed before the start of the podcast, just so I don't have to manage an intraday trade and do the podcast and do everything else as well. But I've had some where they have continued to go into it, but it's a general rule. I like to close them before the pod starts. Yeah, we'll have to think about that. Maybe we can work something out, or somebody has an idea. All right. Well, I have an old friend of mine coming by today, so I'm looking very, very much forward to seeing her. She's an old friend of mine from high school. We dated, so that'll be kind of a fun reunion. She's coming by today. All right. Well, I think that's a wrap then. I appreciate everybody coming today. I really do. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Please go out, try to do something nice for somebody today, even if it's just a smile or a wave or a hold the door open or just being pleasant to them, right? You might have that person that on their last nerve, and the next person that rubs them wrong, that's it, right? But maybe by you being nice, maybe it might turn the whole situation around, right? So always a good policy. Gary says, Gary bought more puts on Apple September 335. And what are we at right now? 343. Okay. So they're out of the money, expiring in September. Those are the same. We talked about this last night, Gary. Those Apple September calls are exactly what my friend has been, but he wrote them a long time ago. He'd give anything to be in your situation of writing them today. Greg is quite the ladies' man. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I try to be a nice guy with the ladies, not a ladies' man, but right. Glenn says, catch up tomorrow. All the best. You too, Glenn. Thank you, bud. Thanks, Greg. Feel better, says Miko. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I hope I do. I just got caught in that rain yesterday, man. I was chilled to the bone when I got home. So we'll see how it works out. Okay, I think that's a wrap for today. Appreciate everybody coming. Have a good rest of your day. Be nice, be good, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity.